Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm so excited. This is, I'm no longer filming in my lounge room. Oh my god. So this is my setup for now. I'm really curious what you guys think of this new setup. I'm curious on what you think of the lighting situation as well, sound, everything. Or as I go along this YouTube journey, it'll hopefully just get better and better. But yeah, it feels so much more comfortable than sitting on the ground. I'm telling you now, this is so much better. Okay, so today we're going to be doing something super exciting. So I'm going to be doing something called Aussie Girl Glam. So if you haven't seen that, I'm going to pop all the inspo on the screen so you can see the kind of look that we're going for today. So basically Aussie Girl Glam is bronzy, clean, bit of a smoky eye, but very crisp, very clean, and almost like a micro liner kind of look. So I'm going to give that a go today. I've actually given one of the looks a shot. I'll pop that up on the screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. That was probably my favorite look that I've done of all time. I love it. And the one thing that I hate myself about is that I never listed all the products that I use. I cannot remember for the life of me what I used, but I'm not going to be recreating that today. I'm going to be recreating something a little bit different. Yeah, something a little bit different. I'm not copying a specific look, but I'm just going to try and mesh everything that I like about all the looks together. And I also want this to be like a hooded eye safe tutorial. So this is going to be Aussie Girl Glam for the girls with hooded eyes. Also, if you want a tutorial in this hair, let me know, because it's actually a mixture of like crimping and curling, but with a straightening iron. So I can show you, if you're interested, how I crimp with a hair straightener. Okay, so we're going to start with the base. So I've already done my skincare. The Anua PDRN plus Hyaluron spray. So you've probably seen this all over Amazon. So basically PDRN is actually extracted from salmon or trout sperm. This sounds absolutely crazy to me, but it's all over TikTok, all over social media, and apparently it's really good for hydrating your skin. So it's winter here in Brisbane and my skin is on the dry side, especially my under eyes and around my mouth. So I really wanted to address that. But yeah, a lot of people have been using this under their makeup to hydrate under their eyes. Like they actually do this technique where they spray onto their brush, sort of under the eye, like that. So that's what I've been doing, but I've been incorporating it into my actual skincare routine. So even when I'm not wearing makeup, I will put this all over my face, and I'll even go in with a jade roller and a gua sha to actually just push it into the skin. So that's basically what I did. And then I went in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Primer. So this is actually in a little travel tube, so it's normally in like a jar, but oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's incredible for dry and oily skin in my opinion, but oh my god, if you know, you know. Like this just smells like lemon meringue pie. It's so good. It's probably the best primer in my opinion. It's basically just like a cream, like it's basically just like a moisturizing primer. It's not, you know, oil controlling, it's not sticky or anything. It's just like a nice like sort of skincare sort of primer, if that makes sense. It's not cheap, but it is so worth it. If you can get your hands on it and give it a shot, even get a little sample, I'd highly recommend. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a glowy primer. So this is the Lumi Glotion. Sorry, my light's very light. So this is an amazing way to achieve a glowy look if you have oily skin, because this actually dries down. Not matte, but it just sets into your skin and it doesn't feel greasy or anything like that. So I'm just putting this on my forehead and just on the high points of my cheeks, and I will be dabbing that under my eyes as well. I want this to be pretty glowy, but obviously not compromise the longevity of my makeup. So it's not a primer per se. I don't really know what it is, but it's just a glow enhancer basically. So you can use it as primer, you can use it underneath makeup, or you can use it over the top of makeup. Honestly, I've tried both and they both work really well. So this is what it looks like on the skin. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with foundation. So this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. So this might be a little bit dark for me, but because it's so sheer, it's pretty forgiving. So I've got the shade 5.3, and this is really good for fair olive skin tones like myself. So for my foundation brush, I'm going to be going in with the B1 Sculpt and Blend L from Tanielle J. So that's this brush. So it's kind of an angled brush, but it's really dense and really soft. And by the way, Tanielle J is she's an amazing Australian makeup artist here in she might be in Gold Coast actually, but she's pretty much the makeup artist behind all of the Aussie girl glams. Not all of them, but the majority of them. I'll put her Instagram handle in my description in case you want to go check her out. But yeah, I absolutely love her. Okay, so that's foundation. Looks like it is a little bit dark for me at the moment, but like I said, it's super sheer. Yeah, it's just a touch too dark, but that's okay. I'll just blend it down my neck. So this is probably my favorite foundation at the moment, to be honest. The only thing I don't like about it is that I have to go in with a lot more than I did with the original Luminous Silk. So I've already used, I think it was two pumps on this side and 2 pumps on this side. But honestly, I actually prefer the finish. I prefer the formula so much more than the original. I felt like the original kind of accentuated my lines a bit. Like, I don't have dry skin, but when I had any dry patches, it would cling to them. And also the shades in the new formula, like there's so many more shades now, and they did not have 5.3 before. This is actually a new shade, so they've actually got more. Fair olive shades. But yeah, this is just a really nice gel texture, and on my oily skin it just wears beautifully. Like, it's not too shiny. Like, even with the old one, it didn't wear that nicely on me. I thought about doing a video to compare the two, but they're just so different. If you want me to do a video on comparing the two, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. I still have the old one. But the funny thing is, with the old one, I never found my spot on shade like I did with this. And I think that's why I like it so much more, because this is actually a really good shade for me. Like, obviously it's a tiny bit too dark for me right now, but I'm not usually this pale. What I'm gonna do now is I really like to do my brows. I usually like to do it before foundation, but I'm trying a few new things in terms of my makeup routine. So I usually do my brow gel first, but I want to actually try and fill them in first and then not have them so pushed up and laminated in this look. So I really like to have my brows sculpted and shaped before I do my eye look, because I feel like your brows just kind of build a template for your face. Like, it shapes your face, and then I feel like when you do your eye makeup after the fact, it's so much easier. Like, I feel like once everything is sculpted, I'm like, okay, I know what I want to do. I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel like that was a really terrible way of explaining it. So I'm going to go in with the Kosas Brow Pop Nano. This is the tiny brow pencil in dark brown, so it's really tiny. What I would recommend is actually not obviously rolling it up that high. I probably go that much, and then, you know, as I need, I'll push more up. But what can happen is it can actually break super easily if you put too much pressure on. So it also comes with a brush as well. So this is such a fine tip that you can pretty much just draw the strokes. So I'm just filling in any gaps. So I like to fill in the gaps mainly at the front, more like hairline strokes, but then as I go to the tail, I'm a little bit more heavy-handed. So I like it to be more defined, like I like the tail to be more defined. And I've noticed in the Aussie girl Glam photos that their brows are darker, just in general, like they're a pretty dark brow. I'll explain this a bit later, but I actually like to go in pretty far with my brow. So like I'll draw a few extra strokes sort of at the front, and I'll explain why in a moment. And the thing I need to keep remembering is this brow is so, this is my shit brow, basically. This is my good brow. So much better. And then this one is just like, it seems like I always just don't match them. Like this one I need to draw up a little bit higher, right here. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, I don't know why I struggle with this brow so much, but it just, you know, I don't know, I think we all struggle with that problem, I'm sure. So I'm just combing the brow after I've just filled that in, because I feel like it actually disperses the product through the brow and it sort of blends it out, sort of blends the product out and makes it look a bit more soft and not so harsh and aggressive. So we'll go in with a brow pen probably at the end. I just want to leave it here for now so I don't go overboard, just in case. But before I go any further, I will lightly set with this Got2bglued brow gel. Now, if you've seen all of my other videos, you know that I'm a die-hard fan of this product because, like I said, I do have extremely thick brow hairs. Like they're pretty much like wire hairs. Like they are so thick. Now I'm going to go in with an eye base. I need to buy an actual eye base at some point, but this has been working so well for me at the moment. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. So this is in a light shade. This is just in 1C. So something to note with these concealers is they run very warm. So that's why I got the cool shade, and I'm really glad I did because yeah, I don't want my concealer so yellow. I used to like that, but I don't know if you guys can hear the magpies outside. I've been feeding them and they kind of yell at me when they want more food, but you know, I don't want them to rely on me for food all the time. So, you know, I only try and feed them like maybe every second day, but yeah, they're kind of telling me off right now, so I'm just ignoring them. So that does look really light, but there is a reason for that. So we're going to go over it with eyeshadow anyway, but what I'm going to do is it's going to be a bit more of like, not a cut crease, but it's going to be a really defined crease look. So I wanted the base to be really light, so I didn't have to work as hard to make the lid lighter. You'll see what I mean by that in a moment. But I just purchased the Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that stunning? So I think I mentioned in one of my videos that I really wanted this. I had his original palette. I think it's the Essential Neutrals palette with like the warm tones. And I think it caused a rash on my eyes. So I was really nervous to buy this one, but it's kind of complicated. Like I think there were other factors in what caused the rash on my eyes. I'm really not sure if it was the palette now that I think about it. So I really want to give this a shot. So I think I'm going to start with the Rephr 15 brush. These brushes are amazing, by the way. They're made in Japan and they're pretty affordable. I mean, I wouldn't say they're like super affordable in comparison to, you know, like Real Techniques or whatever you can find in Priceline or Elf or whatever, but for what they are, like they are so, like they are such good quality. The writing hasn't faded from it at all, and I've had it for a few years and it just cleans so well. Like I've washed this many times, but it's not stained. The hairs, like a lot of my old brushes, like Morphe for example, like this is what it looks like. It's a bit sad at the moment. And yeah, the writing's like all faded and the handles just, you know, they fall apart and the hairs fall out and all that sort of thing, but these are actually so good. Anyway, I'm gonna This video is going to be like 2 hours long if I'm not careful, so I'm not going to ramble on too long. Okay, so what we're going to do is I really want to define the lid up here, and I might go in with this color. So I'm just going all over the lid just to set that concealer basically, so it's all soft and velvety smooth. And it's pretty much the shade of my skin tone. And I'll do the same on the other side. So I'm going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush. So this is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush. I'm going to go in with EE3. I'm having a look at the shade names on the back. I sort of only just realized that the shades weren't named like in the palette on the top, I guess. But yeah, I'm going with this one. And this is just to, I'm going to create like an ombre effect with my crease, I guess. So start with a lighter shade and I'm slowly building up with slightly darker colors before I go in with like straight in with like a, you know, really dark shade, right? Because we want it to be like soft and diffused. So I'm just going right above my crease. So if I look straight into the camera, I'm gonna put my mirror here so I see what I'm doing. But yeah, I kind of want to go right there, right above where the hood is. And just sort of follow, like if you push down, if you can feel your eyeball, I would actually just graze, do like a windscreen wiper sort of dealio around your eyeball and blending slightly above that spot. And then diffusing the tail out ever so slightly. And yeah, as usual, I just find this side so much easier. I don't know if that's got to do with me being left-handed. I have no idea. It's actually running a bit more pink than I thought, which is fine, but it's not really what I expected. Yeah, so the next shade I'm going to go in with is this one. It's a slightly cooler toned brown. And again, just focusing that right in the crease. And I'm not going to take as much product in to the inner part of the eye as much as I did with the other one. I'm just softly blending that up to my brow, not adding extra product, just focusing that on the outer corner of the eye. That's where I want most of my product to be, and then I'll start building that in on the inner corner and then buffing out with whatever's left on my brush to feather that out. So now we've got a really good template with our eyes. So we're just going to slowly build upon that. So there's tones that I need for this look that aren't in this palette, but I'm actually going to go in with my Jeffree Star Orgy palette. This is my all-time favorite nudes palette of all time. They're just such good quality shadows. So I actually depotted the whole palette because it's so massive. So I put it into this Clash palette. So this is an Australian company of palettes, like a magnetic palette, but it's actually magnetic on the top and the bottom. So it's actually, it was the perfect size to put all of them in, and then it just compacts like that. So I can take it traveling with me if I want. Okay, so I'm going to go in with something a little bit more tapered. So this is a pencil brush from Rephr. This is the 03 brush. I'm going to go in with this shade. So it's a bit on the more on the warm side, and I'm just going to go in and give that crease more of a definition. I'm going in with the fluffy brush again with that same shade. And I'm actually just going to, now I'm going over the top of that shadow, but I just use that as sort of like a template. And now I'm going outward, sort of like a cat eye. And look how easy it is to blend, like it's just so incredible. Probably this one. I'm going with the pencil brush again just to really define that area. So this look relies very heavily on soft layers of a lot of product, a lot of different tones, I guess. Just going with a fluffy brush with no product on it and just softly blending that out. And same with the other side. Okay, so back in with that brown shade I used initially. I'm just going to start building up the inside just a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to do something really fun. I'm going to grab a small flat brush. I think this is from Zoeva. Yeah, Zoeva Rose Golden. I think it's 233, the 233 brush. Can't really see it because it's like really faded. So I'm going to go in with the lightest shade in this palette. No, I'm not. I'm going to start with, okay, I'm going to go in with this shade right there. I'm too scared to go in with a really light one just yet because it's going to be hard to sort of undo that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to sort of define the lid. I'm just going from my tear duct right there and just using my eyeball to help me follow up to halfway like there of my eye, not going any further than that, not just yet. And then now I'm starting to go a little bit further. So this actually carries all the way around. So it's more defined. What I'm thinking is it's going to be more defined on the outside than the inside. I'll show you, you'll see how it all come together. I feel like I could have gone a bit darker actually, but that's okay. We can do that. So same thing on this side. And these shadows are so pigmented, so I don't even need to use concealer to cut the crease. Like, say what you want about Jeffree Star, but his products are just unreal. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So I'm actually going to soften the front just a bit and leave that outer portion to be more sculpted. And I put no extra product on this brush. And the only thing that I will do is just sort of bring that across like that. And this just sort of elongates the eye. So I'm just bringing that towards my nose from my lid. And it sort of opens up that hood as well. So it makes it look like it's not as much of a hood, if that makes sense. I just want to go in with that brown shade again, this one. So I've got a bit of a gap on the outside here, there, wrong side. And I just want to close that gap. And going in with the darker color, the cooler tone color next to it. Okay, I think that does look a lot better. And I just want to like kind of define this spot a bit more. I just feel like I can't really see it. And this is basically going to give us a fake crease, which is amazing. So going in with the clean fluffy brush again and just softening the edges here so it's not as intense or harsh. Okay, so I'm going to tight line with a black liner. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Liner in black, deep onyx, sorry. So I'm not tight lining yet, sorry, I just decided to change my mind. So I've just got the smaller pencil brush in the Rephr 23. I'm just blending that out. And I'm only going to lean that out a tiny amount. So adding more to the brush. If you feel like your liner is a bit on the tacky side, I'd actually just go in and warm that up on your arm or your hand so it will just glide a bit easier. Sometimes the pencil will just dry up if it hasn't been used in a while. And I'm going to put that pencil down and just grab a black shadow from the Jeffree Star palette. And I'm just going to use that shadow to set that eyeliner. And also use that to wing out slightly. So that's the liner there. So I've obviously got a bit of fallout under my eyes, which is actually fine. Totally okay with that. So I'm going to be using the backside of a powder puff and maybe a bit of this spray to just clean that up, which sounds a bit crazy, but I think it'll work. And it's fine to clean this spot up like this because the foundation is so sheer and easy to work with that it won't get upset. Plus we're also just going to go in with concealer afterwards anyway. I'm going in with a slightly darker shade to even further define that, because now that I've put the black down, I feel like I need more contrast. Okay, if I'm not careful, I'm going to go too crazy. I'm just going to soften that with a clean brush. Going with a darker, more beige colour all over. I feel like it's a little bit too stark. That white. I'll show you what colour I used in just a moment. Yeah, oh, that's so much better. That's so much softer. I feel like that's a little bit more wearable. So the shade I just used to deepen up the lid was this one. Okay, so we're going to go in with concealer underneath the eyes. So I usually like to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, but I want to go in with something a bit more hydrating. So to start with, this might be too dark, but I've got two shades of these. So this is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer, and this one is in the shade IE. This is just a really nice concealer for dry under eyes. I'm going to do the Clover. So that shade's actually not bad at all, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to use my beloved powder puff to blend that out. I'm always getting those black dots from it, from the powder puff, but it just blends out so well that I'm just not mad at it. I'm just pressing the concealer to help define that eyeshadow. So I'm going to be going with a couple of layers of this concealer, some just to bring back that coverage underneath the eye. I'm going to be doing another layer and I'm going to actually let it dry so that I get more coverage and a bit more definition, or like a sculpted effect. So as I let that concealer dry, it actually becomes tacky and I feel like I get more coverage when I do that. You can kind of go in with heaps of layers with this concealer and it just never looks cakey. It's amazing. So I've got a lighter shade and this is in the shade BH. I've got a million cat hairs on my face again. So I'm just only going to dot a little bit on the inner part. Actually, I'm not dotting a little bit. Apparently she's going in with a lot. Alright, so I'm just going to let that dry for a bit. So while that's drying, I'm going to go in with my brow pen. So this is the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen and this is in the shade Grey Black. So as I said earlier, I like to bring my eyebrows in a little bit further. Not quite like a monobrow, but almost. I'm pretty dark, but I do like dark brows. So yeah, just the formula becomes a little bit more thick when I let it dry. I just feel like that I get more color payoff, I get more coverage, and it's not as messy to blend out. Like it doesn't just sort of smear everywhere, if that makes sense. I have a bit more resistance in the blending, especially when you're patting. I'm just using that to sculpt, reverse contour my nose. So bring that sort of straight like that. Same with the other side. Any excess I bring just around my nose so I can get a bit red. So before I set the face, I'm going to do my mascara and lashes. Okay, so for mascara, I'm going to go in with a new mascara that I'm trying. This is the Essence Lash Without Limits Tubing Mascara. I got this for $7 from Priceline, and I'm all for a cheap tubing mascara. And upon first impressions, it's a really nice everyday mascara. It's not super clumpy. It goes on so easily and it holds my curl, at least for now. Really worth it. Wow. I do want to go in with lashes before I powder and do the rest of my face. So I'm going to be using, this is the ModelRock Mini Silk in number 7. So I'm not going to be using the whole strip. So I'm actually going to be cutting these in half or quarters. I'm not sure yet. So I've done like sort of like a half lash. So I'm just going to put the glue on that now, and hopefully by the time this is ready to put on, my mascara is dry. And I'm just using the Kiss lash adhesive. This is a really amazing lash glue from Priceline that I got. It is either Amazon or Priceline. Okay, so there's one of the lashes on. So I know a lot of the Aussie makeup artists like to use individuals. The individuals they use are called Own lashes, but I don't have those. I really want to try them though. So hopefully they stay. The band is actually quite thick on these, so I wouldn't say this is like the best lash for something for a look like this, but it is still absolutely stunning. So I still want to go in with a couple of inner corner lashes, just a few. So I'm only going to be using individuals for this. So this is from Temu actually. Actually, you can get this on AliExpress and Temu. They're like little tiny spiky lashes. They're only 9mm long. They're really tiny. So they're great for like the inner corner, especially for hooded eyes. Fun fact, I actually wore these lashes on my wedding day. It's very glam, but they're not too glam because they're not super long. So I'm just going to tight line just to make sure everything meshes well together and that the lashes aren't detectable. I'm actually carrying the liner into my tear duct. And if we end up going too low, you can just use your finger and just pat that concealer up into the liner. This is why I picked this concealer, because it hasn't set and you can still manipulate it. Okay, so that's the black. So next I'm going to go in with a charcoal liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil, and this is in the shade Smog. So this is just like a nice charcoal. This is just like a nice charcoal color, and I also wore this on my wedding day. So I'm just going to go over the top of that black liner. So just going over the black, dragging all across the lower lash line. And I'm just using my hand to clean the excess black, smudging that out. Really pretty, right? Hopefully you can actually see the shimmer in it. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, so now we're finally going to do the rest of my base. Okay, so I just had to run out and grab what I was missing. So this is the Tanielle Jai Cream Bronzer, and that's what that looks like. So yeah, I just had to feature this into this video because she's obviously an Aussie makeup artist and a famous one of that. And she has an incredible makeup line. I'm going to be featuring some other things in this video as well, like her lip liners. So it's obviously very dark and very warm, but she has heaps of shades in this bronzer, and like, yeah, I don't know how full it is, but I feel like you get a lot, and it's really heavy. This is like, it's quite a dry contour, like it's pretty matte, but I have a trick. So what I like to do is actually like to grab my MAC Fix Plus and spray it to rehydrate the bronzer. Like that. This just rehydrates the bronzer, so it makes it a little bit easier to use. Yeah, this is in the shade Caramel Latte, but yeah, she has like 3 other shades before this one, so she's got a very nice range. And I'm just tapping that into my cheek. Yeah, I really want to grab a couple more shades because I really like the formula It stays put all day. It is so easy to use, and obviously you get so much product. And it's not even like super expensive either. I just feel so snatched when I use this. Okay, so that's on. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to be using a Nikki LaRose N12 Decay Beauty brush. So that just looks like that. So I'm just going to be using this to contour my nose and my lips. And this is a specialty that she does, like especially around the lips, like I'll show you. So she kind of takes it under the lip. I mean, I just want to prefix, she did not create this. I'm not trying to say that at all, but this is just something that she does on her clients. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. I don't normally contour my lips, but I'm just kind of going just above my lip line to sort of overline the lips. But it also creates like a bit of a shadow. So I'm going to focus that on the top of my lip on my Cupid's bow to sort of create like a lifted effect. Yeah, this is probably something that probably looks better on camera rather than in person, but who cares? I want to try it anyway. Oh, nose contour. So just softly going down the bridge of my nose and up into my brow hairs. So this is the reason I like to draw my brows closer together, because I actually have quite a wide nose. So having the eyebrows closer together means that I can contour my nose smaller and it looks a bit more snatched. I'm going to use my Smashbox brush to tap that out. So I need more of a contour shade. I'd say this is more of a bronzer shade, but I just wanted to try it anyway. Now that I've done my creams, I'm just going to go over it and set with my powders. So I'm going to go in with the Mini Hoola bronzer. I'm just going to use the Nikki LaRose N16 brush from her collab with BK Beauty. It's a bit more of a neutral shade, so hopefully it will neutralize that warmth that I just put down with that cream bronzer. So now I'm going to go in with my Nikki LaRose N15 brush. I'm going to take my Hoola just to sculpt or just to set that bronzer. I'll do a bit more of a contour, just lightly, because I want to go in with my MAC Give Me Sun powder, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in Pound Cake. Am I the only one that likes the smell of these powders? I just feel like it's such a good powder and I just like the smell of a good product. I don't know, I can't explain it. It's really weird. So I'm just going to lightly set where I need to be set. So I'm going to start with the T-zone. And I'm not going directly under my eyes with this one because I feel like it can be a bit drying, at least on me. I'm trying this new thing where I only put powder where I absolutely need it, because if I put it under my eyes, like it just ruins my makeup. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter powder. So this is in the shade 1. It looks really light in the camera, but it's definitely my skin tone to set under my eyes. I'm going to take any excess on my hand and just go underneath my eye. So this is not a setting powder, but I feel like it just looks the most flattering under my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with blush. So this is a really old product. So this is the NARS Frenzy palette. And I like both actually. I'll show you what they look like. That's the highlighter. I'll do, like, that's insane. Also this, if you see this is from my barbecue. And this is the blush. So it's just like a really nice, like almost like a coral terracotta-y kind of shade, but it's got a bit of a sheen to it. So I'm going to be using my Rephr 04 brush. I'm going to go in with a pretty light hand with the blush because this is more of a bronzy look. So I'm just going to sweep. I'm not going like where I normally go with my blush. I usually go right here for a lifted effect, but I just want this just as like a sun-kissed sort of tropical look. And just a little on the nose. So it looks like I've just been outside. So now I'm going to do Fix Plus all over my face, just to eliminate that powdery look. Before I let it set entirely, I actually like to go in with highlighter. So I'm going to go in with that highlight shade. This is so underrated, this palette. I don't even know if they make it anymore actually, but I love it so much. I'm going to take a tiny brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH34 brush. I'm going to take a small brush, bit of that highlighter, and just move my head, and so I can see where the natural glow is, and you can see that it's right there for me. So I can see this easier when I do the spray. And just putting it where I need it. I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush. This is the Morphe X Ariel A18 brush. So I'm just going to take that highlighter and just run it down the bridge of my nose like that, and then trail it down my nose like this. So now we're going to go in with the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. This is the mineralized skin finish, and I'm going to take a fluffier brush. So this is a big fluffy brush. This is the KVD 20. So this is a big fluffy brush, and I'm just tapping on the very outside perimeters of my face where the sun would hit me. I'm not taking this down the middle of my face, I'm just keeping it on the outsides and a bit on my nose, because yeah, this is definitely too dark for me right now. I'm going to be using the Tanielle Jai lip liners. So I have Mocha Mousse and I have Turkish Delight. So I'm going to go in with Turkish Delight all over my lip. So these lip liners are also designed to be used on the eyes, so they're just a liner. So she's got heaps of colors. These are so soft. Like they're kind of like the Huda Beauty formula, like really soft and creamy. Like look how much I made a dent in that. Like they're that creamy. It's insane. But the thing with these is once they set, they are set for the entire day. Like you can eat, you can drink, and they will stay on. It's not like a lip tint. It's not like a lip tint, but it's bulletproof. Like it actually stays on the entire day. It is insane. So I'm going to go with a dirty brush. This is usually my lip pencil brush, the Zoeva one. So what I would suggest is working in sections. I'm going to just do the bottom part of my lip, just the outer portion. And I'm going to quickly blend that in before it sets. So that's half my lip done. Just a really nice, like soft, like a pinky brown. This is great for overlining. It's so creamy and pigmented. I really need to blend that out really quickly. So I'm going to put this all over the lip and then quickly blend out. And that's the lip. So that's Turkish Delight, and I'm going to go in and contour with Mocha Mousse. So this might not layer very well. I haven't actually tried this method, so we'll just try it together. I'm just going in on the outer corners. Most of this is literally patience. So yeah, there is a little bit of a learning curve with these, but I would just start with one color and then build your confidence from there. But like this lip is insane. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a gloss. This is the Jisoo lip gloss in Watermelon Sugar. So I'm just going to dab a tiny bit. I love the smell of these. And I'm just going to set with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. This is the best setting spray of all time, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the... Okay, so that is the final look, guys. Is this giving Australia glam or is this just 2016 vibes? You let me know. I will list everything I used in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my videos if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!